Welcome back, everyone. I hope everybody's staying cool, drinking lots of liquids, and I mean lots of liquids. Very hot. Stay hydrated, guys. Okay, so today we're going to start the Bailey School Kids Junior Chapter books, and I have Cavemen Do Drive School Buses. I have a couple, and I'm going to read them out of order, as always, because as they come to me, I can read them and then redonate them, is generally what I do. So, with that being said, I am all set. Make sure you get all comfy. And then, here we go. If you gotta pause, go ahead and pause. Get your blankies and your pillows. I understand. Alright, so, the Bailey School Kids Junior Chapter books. Cavemen Do Drive School Buses. Chapter 1, Away Game. Look at this, Liza told her soccer team. Melanie, Liza, Howie, Eddie, and the rest of the second graders were on the playground. They were waiting for the bus to take them to their first away game. So far, they had played 3 home games, and they had lost all of them. Liza was the team manager. She held up her clipboard to show the team her notes. Howie didn't look. He read a science book. Eddie didn't look. He put a spider in Carrie's hair. Carrie didn't look. She screamed and jumped and screamed some more. In fact, no one looked at Liza's ideas. Not even their coach. He was busy blowing his nose. He was too sick to care about soccer. I believe it. Melanie was busy practicing her kicking. Melanie loved to play soccer, more than watching TV, more than pizza, even more than eating candy. Melanie kicked the ball. It flew across the playground, and she ran after it. Melanie gave the ball another kick. It zoomed into the net. Melanie pumped her fists in the air. She wiggled her hips and did a happy dance. That's good, Liza called to Melanie. Very good. But we need teamwork. Come look at this. Just then, Melanie kicked the ball one more time. Whoosh! It sailed through the air. Smack! The ball hit Liza right on the back of the head. Oh, that's probably not going to end well. Chapter 2, Ned. I'm sorry, Melanie said, running over to Liza. Are you okay? Yes, Liza said, as she rubbed the back of her head. Just then, a bus rumbled around the corner. The brakes squealed like a wild animal. The bus jerked to a stop. The door to the playground... The door to the bus groaned to open. If the playground has its own door, that's awesome. Wow. The door to the bus groaned open. Hurry, Liza said. We don't want to be late. But when Liza saw the bus, she stopped. The driver's head was hairy. His arms were hairy. Even his neck was hairy. Very hairy. Call me Ned, he grunted. Ned Anderthal. He jerked his thumb towards the back of the bus. On. Sit. The team filed onto the bus and sat down. Howie opened his book as he walked down the aisle. Liza looked at the bus driver. Even her Uncle Buck wasn't as hairy as the new driver. Liza turned around and whispered to Melanie, Have you ever seen anyone with such a bushy beard? It is pretty wild, Melanie said. Maybe he lost his razor. He looks like he's been lost in the woods for thousands of years, Eddie added. Howie looked up from his book. I hope he took a shower before he got on the bus. Oh, come on now. Liza took a seat and looked at the back of Ned's head. It was hairy, and very wild. Something about it seemed strange, very strange. Chapter 3, Game On. No, 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 Liza yelled. Stay in your spots. But the team didn't listen to Liza. They all ran left. They all ran right. The whole team chased the ball in one big clump. Melanie got the ball. She raced towards the goal, but then Eddie ran into Melanie. She fell into Howie. The 3 of them landed on Carrie and Huey. Oi! Screamed Melanie. Help! Yelled Howie. Get the ball! Called Eddie. But it was too late. The other team spread out. They passed the ball. They kicked the ball into the net. Go! I feel like this is a good book. Just because of what's happening in the world right now. Got those FIFA teams. Sometimes you just need a little soccer or football, depending on where you're from. I know. That was their 4th goal. Liza's team hadn't scored at all. Liza shook her head. I wish they would listen to me, she said to herself. Liza's coach just blew his nose. Ned stood behind her and grunted. Liza turned around. I didn't know you were there, she said. Ned grunted again. Soccer is wild. Liza nodded. Too wild. No one wants to stay where they're supposed to be. Everyone wants to chase the ball. Just like Tiger Hunt. Ned grunted. Must work together. Tiger Hunt? Liza said. It was more like a question. Saber-toothed tiger, Ned said, and another grunt. Oh, Liza said. She turned away from Ned just in time to see the other team kick the ball into the net. Not again, she sighed. Chapter 4. Tigers. Nice try, Liza told her team as they got on the bus. It was the pits, Eddie said. Melanie nodded. The other team killed us. After everyone sat down, Ned started the bus. It moaned. It shook. It jerked to a start. Ned did not say soccer was like a tiger hunt, Liza said. What does Ned know about tigers? Ed asked. Liza nodded. He hunted tigers? Saber-toothed tigers? Cool, Eddie said. He used his finger to make fangs. Eddie leaned over the seat and snarled at Liza. Liza screamed. Ned jerked the bus to a stop. He glared at Eddie in the mirror. Oh, yeah, if you've ever taken the school bus, you know. You sit down, no jumping around, hands inside the windows. Oops, sorry, Eddie said. I got carried away. Oh, okay. Eddie sat down in his seat and looked out the window. Ned grunted. Ugh. And the bus started puttering down the road again. Howie patted Liza on the back. Don't worry. There is no such thing as saber-toothed tigers. Okay. But yes, it'll be all right. Yeah, there are, Eddie argued. Not anymore, there aren't. Okay, that's the fair fact. Not anymore. There was, indeed. Howie told his friends. They're extinct. Howie was the smartest kid in second grade. He knew all about animals that weren't alive anymore. But Ned said he hunted them, Liza insisted. Howie shook his head. There's no way Ned would have to be a caveman to hunt saber-toothed tigers. Lisa didn't say anything. She looked at Ned's wild, crazy hair. It did kind of look like caveman's hair. Okay. Chapter 5. Cave Art. Liza shut her eyes to take a nap. She leaned her head back. Most of the other kids were busy talking to one another, except for Eddie. He sang a loud song. 99 bottles of pop on the wall, 99 bottles of pop. Liza groaned. She knew she'd never sleep with Eddie singing. She opened her eyes. She couldn't believe what she saw on the ceiling. Liza tugged on Melanie's arm. Look at those, she says. Liza pointed to pictures on the ceiling. They looked like chalk cartoons. One picture had people running all around. Next to that were pictures of people jumping. The last picture showed a pile of people on the ground. I'll see if I can show you this because it is dark. And I know it's my kitchen, but you can see how like there's little character drawings. And each one does the same thing, and then the two girls are sitting in the seat. Alright, come on, Paige. Howie looked up at the pictures. They looked like hieroglyphics from ancient Egypt, or maybe cave paintings by early cavemen. Eddie stopped singing and stared at Howie. How do you know about cave art? Howie held his book. I read, he said. Eddie grabbed for the book, but Howie knew his friend. He pulled it away just in time. As the two boys wrestled with the book, Liza looked at the strange drawings. Then she looked at Ned. Cave drawings? Liza said to herself. Could it really be true? I mean, it's a good question. Chapter 6. Losing Streak. We're on a streak, Eddie said. A losing streak, Liza said. It was true. Their team still hadn't won a single game. They were waiting for the bus to take them to their second game away. Eddie grinned. That means we're the number one losing team, he said. Liza nodded sadly. Maybe if their coach wasn't still sick, they could win. Eddie grinned. We're number one, he chanted, and started marching around the playground. Carrie hopped in line behind him. We're number one, they chanted. Huey got behind Carrie. Why would you guys do that? I want to do that. Soon the entire team was marching behind Eddie, except for Liza, Melanie, and Howie. Liza sat on the ground and sighed. She didn't want to be number one at losing. Wait, Liza said. We need to talk about how we can win. But the team marched away. We'll never win if we don't work together, Liza said. That's true. At least they're marching together, Melanie said. Here's the bus, Liza called to the rest of the team. Eddie came to a sudden stop. Wham! Huey fell into Eddie. Bam! Carrie stumbled onto Huey. Splat! Soon, there was no line at all. Instead, there was a pile of kids on the ground. Do you guys know what it's called when they use words like bam, splat, or wham in a sentence? And the way that they sound when you say it? Let me know if you do. At the end of the book, though, I will tell you what it is called if you don't know. Our team is just like those drawings in Ned's bus, Liza said with a sigh. What do you mean? Howie asked. Liza sat up straighter. Don't you remember? She said nobody worked together in that drawing. They all ended up in a big pile, just like our team. Liza looked at her clipboard. She knew she could help the team if she could just get them to listen. But how? Chapter 7. Fire. I fear to know what this chapter is about. So, give me your best guess. You can hit pause and then put your answer in the bottom if you have a guess. But if you're ready, here we go. We're going to find out together. Nobody listened to Liza on the bus. Nobody listened as they got ready to play. Now the team was losing. Again. They ran after the ball like a bunch of bees. Stay in your position, Liza told her friends. But the team didn't listen. Liza stomped her feet. Liza jumped in the air. Liza covered her eyes. Oh! We've all been there. She couldn't stand watching her team lose again. Ned wasn't happy about the game either. Pep, Ned told her after the game. Pep? Liza asked. Bring team together. Or like a pep rally? Like pep everybody up? Woo! Grunted Ned. For pep rally. Exactly, for a pep rally. Eddie ran up besides them. Pep rally? Cool, Eddie said. Can we have a big fire? Ned grinned. Like fire. Fire good. That evening, the team sat around a big fire. Their parents huddled off to the side, chatting. Ned stood by the fire, poking it with a huge stick. Sparks flew out of the flames. I don't know. Teamwork, teamwork, Melanie called out. Melanie and Howie yelled along with her. We are the best, Carrie yelled. The whole team cheered along. Just then, Liza stopped cheering. She stared at Ned. He stopped poking the fire and swung the stick over his head. Oh my gosh, Liza called. What's wrong? Melanie asked. It was hard to hear above the cheering. Liza pulled her friends away from the fire. It was chilly and she shivered. Look at Ned. As the other kids chanted, Ned danced around the fire. The club-like stick was still on his shoulder. His pants were ripped on the bottom, and he still wore a hairy vest with no shirt. Oh, okay. I assume she means like a fur vest, like a fur jacket. He looks like something in a movie, Melanie said. Eddie laughed. A caveman movie. Liza looked at her three friends. Only this is no movie. I think Ned is a caveman. Chapter 8. Marshmallow Madness. Eddie laughed. Eddie hit his chest. Eddie yelled, Me caveman too. Shush, Liza told him. Ned will hear you. Melanie patted Liza's arm. Ned is the bus driver. He can't be a caveman. I mean, what do you guys think? Sounds like he is. Why not? Liza asked. Howie tipped his chin. Maybe he left over from the Ice Age. Just melted out. Don't be silly, Melanie said. Even if Ned was a caveman, what could we do about it? We can't even win a soccer game. Liza looked at the team. 3 kids tugged on a bag of marshmallows. The bag tore. Marshmallows flew through the air. Huey had a spider in his hand. He chased Carrie with 2 of his friends. They raced across the playground screaming. The coach just stood there, blowing his nose again. I think it's time for him to go to the doctors. What do you guys think? We just need pep, like Ned said, Liza said. Liza raised her megaphone. Who's the best? She cheered. We're the best. Go team. Liza waited for the team to join her cheer, but nobody heard. Eddie grabbed marshmallows off the ground and started throwing them. Plop. One landed on Liza's head. Ah! Liza screamed. Plop. Another marshmallow splatted on Howie's forehead. Hey! Howie yelled. Plop. A third marshmallow landed right in Ned's hairy beard. Oh no, Liza gasped. This is marshmallow madness. How are we going to play together if we can't even cheer together? That's a good question. Chapter 9. Big Time Losers. I don't know, it sounds like they lost their next game, so they're still not listening to each other. The team tried to play better. They tried on Monday, but Eddie kept tripping over Melanie's feet. They tried on Wednesday, but Howie kicked the ball into the wrong goal. Oh, that stinks. On the day of the next away game, the bus rumbled to a stop in front of the team. The door groaned open. Ned stood at the top of the steps. His arms were on his hips. He frowned. His eyes were mad. He pointed at Liza, Melanie, Eddie, and Howie. You, he said. Get on. Sit down and no trouble. Okay, sure. The 4 kids went to the very back. They slid down into their seats. That's when Liza saw the new drawing on the back of the seats in front of her. These look like us playing soccer, Liza whispered. See how they're all bunched up like bees ready to sting? Melanie shrugged. You have to run after the ball to score, she said. Liza didn't say anything else. She studied the pictures. Some of them did look like their team's worst plays, but other drawings looked very different. At the game, Ned watched as the team played worse than ever. Eddie kicked the ball away from Melanie. Ned grunted. Huey tripped Eddie to get the ball. Ned stomped his foot. Ned looked madder and madder. I can understand. I get frustrated, right? Our team is losing big time, Melanie said during halftime. Losing isn't the only thing we have to worry about, Howie said. The 4 friends looked across the field at Ned. He frowned right back at them. Losing won't be as bad as riding home on a bus with an angry caveman, Howie said. I don't want to go back on the bus, Liza said. What if there's a new drawing and it shows Ned chasing a bunch of losing soccer players? Eddie asked. Ooh, I don't know. Chapter 10. Cat Hunt. I mean, going from what we've known, I have a feeling that Ned's gonna set up like a cat chasing hunt to have the team work together. Why did cavemen draw on walls? Liza asked. Howie shrugged. No one knows. Maybe to help teach kids. Or maybe to record things like how we write stories. But cavemen drew pictures instead. Like in comic books, Eddie said. Only cavemen didn't wear tights or capes or fly over bad guys. It's true. Melanie laughed. No, they grew their hair long and hunted cats and big teeth. I like that idea, Eddie said, as he jumped in the air. I'd be Eddie the super caveman. Liza had her own idea. Howie, give me your book. This is not a good time to do schoolwork, Melanie said. There is never a good time to do schoolwork, Eddie told her. Liza looked at Howie's book. She pointed to the picture. This is what we have to do, she said. They looked at the picture of the cave drawing in the book. Men with sharp sticks spread out around a large tiger. We have to catch a huge cat, Melanie asked. My grandmother won't let me have a spear, Eddie said. I already asked. Eddie would. He would. Liza shook her head. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about winning. Liza told them her plan. If we spread out like these hunters did, we can block the other team. Melanie looked at the book. She looked at Liza. Then Melanie patted Liza's back. Liza, you're great. No, Liza said. Ned is. But her friends didn't hear her. They were too busy telling the rest of the team their plan. That's a good thing. Chapter 11. Teamwork. Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! The team cheered. We won! Eddie did a little dance, thanks to Liza, Melanie said, as the team walked towards the bus. It's about teamwork. You know a lot about soccer, Huey said. We should have been trying your ideas all along, Carrie said. Liza was right, Melanie said. Soccer isn't about being the one who makes the goals. I didn't come up with the idea on my own, Liza told them, as they lowered her into the ground. I think they meant onto the ground, but they did right in. That's creepy. Who helped you? Howie asked. Ned, she told them. Ned? Eddie blurted. Ned and his caveman drawings, Eliza told it. Just then, the door to the bus creaked open. Ned walked down the bus steps. His hands were on his hip. His hairy face frowned down at them. Liza trembled. Howie backed up, but Eddie looked scared, rather. But Liza didn't have to worry. Ned smiled. He held up a finger. "Number 1, he said. Howie pulled his friend off to the side. If Ned really is a caveman, there will be more drawings showing what happened to us today. That's fair. The 4 friends walked to the back of the bus. They checked the walls and seats for the pictures. Melanie patted Liza's arm. There it is, Melanie said, pointing to the new one. It didn't have a big cat. It didn't have spears. It showed a team working together. Another one showing a very hairy bus driver dancing. That proves it, Howie said. Ned really is a caveman, Eddie said with a nod. What should we do? Melanie asked. Liza smiled. Nothing. Maybe cavemen do drive school buses, she told her friends, but in Bailey City, that's just fine. That was a cute little book. What do you guys think? Let me know.